Welcome to Teachings from the Masters with Daryl Shaun Price.
Hi, welcome. So glad you're here. So today I want to talk to you about the power of faith. And I'll make this really clear. As we talk about faith, I'm not talking about the adherence to a specific religious tradition or belief or some of the ways that people use the word faith as in, this is my faith. I'm talking about that ability to believe in something without the physical proof and know that it's true. Not just hope, not just, well, I'm going to do my best and if it works out, great. No, the actual faith that it is true. And this is why that's so important. You know, I talk a lot in this podcast about the power of you and about how if you follow the peace, if you live in alignment internally, miracles happen. And you know, every tradition throughout all of history, all of the religious leaders, all of the spiritual leaders have had some form of faith precedes the miracle. And that's why I want to talk about that today. How does that actually play as a principle in your life as the creator manifesting miracles for your life? Well, the faith that we're talking about is the faith in you as the creator. Your spirit, that energy of creation that exists in all things, and I mean it in all things, responds to what you do in alignment with it. And here's the beauty of it. That spirit, that energy of creation is already vibrating as high as possible. The only reason you don't get the highest, best, most good things and amazing miracles now is because of the filters you put on it. You automatically get from the universe everything that you allow yourself to receive. And the only thing you limit yourself with are those filters, those beliefs. You know, I had an analogy that I used previously that I really like. So beliefs are like the curtains you put up in a house. You have a house. You can put anything you want in it. You've got the space. But then you go in and you decide, I'm going to paint the walls green and put up the purple curtains. Well, now that room has a very specific feel to it. And it feels this way with these filters on it. If you were to go in and paint a mural of an underwater scene, put fish aquariums everywhere and blue curtains, it would now have a very different feel. So your beliefs are like those curtains. They create what you perceive. They create what you experience. Because they are the filters through which you are telling your spirit, the energy of creation, what you are allowing yourself to receive. And here's the kicker. Lots of people talk about limiting beliefs. Every belief is limiting. You know, the Tao talks about this quite a bit. If you want to perceive beauty, you must also create things that are ugly. If you want to be rich, you must also create the poor. The moment you say, I want this experience, you automatically create the opposite of that experience as well. And you start to filter. For one thing to be beautiful, other things must be ugly. Until you put up the filters, the limits that you choose to live with, the identity that you choose to be, the energy of creation is limitless. It is just energy. It is just pure potential. It is infinite. It is limitless. It is eternal. It is endless. So how do you create those filters? How do you decide what your identity is? Those are the beliefs that we get, whether it's from upbringing, whether it's from our own thoughts, what we read, what we hear. We start to pull in these filters and these beliefs. For me to be wealthy, I have to work hard and I have to do smart things with my money or I will never be wealthy. Well, now you're only allowed to be wealthy when you work hard and do smart things with your money. But you all know people who don't work hard and have done dumb things with their money, but are still wealthy. So the filters only limit you. What you choose to believe is what you will experience. And that's the whole point of this life. The purpose of life is this. For you, you need to decide what to experience. You get to choose to experience anything. You are the creator. You have the energy of creation at your command because it is your spirit. And here, you get to choose what that experience looks like by choosing what identity, what role you want to play. And that's where the role of faith comes in. Because if you believe you are the creator, if you know that energy of creation is inside of you and you can create anything that you choose to be, well, that's where the limitlessness comes in. And I want you to look at your life right now. Let's take 6 areas. First, let's look at your spiritual life. How well connected do you feel with the energy of creation? How in sync do you feel? How in alignment do you feel? Or is there a lot of chaos and a lot of scramble and a lot of trying to push to make time to be spiritual? Your belief is creating that. Well, if I don't meditate for at least 5 hours a day, then I'm not really in tune enough. Oh, and I don't have the time to do that, so there's the cycle. Well, if I don't clear out all of my issues and do shadow work and do inner child work and heal all my trauma, then I can't be spiritual. Okay, those are the curtains you put up. And you won't receive that spiritual connection, that depth, that harmony, and won't perceive it until you've fulfilled what those beliefs are. What about intellectually? Well, I don't know enough. I'm not good enough. I'm not as good as other people. I can't do the same things they do. I'm only going to accept what I already know. If I want to achieve this, I have to go study harder. If I want to accomplish this goal, I have to go work more. Those are the conditions you put up. What about emotionally? Well, I'm not allowed to feel good about myself until I've healed all my past trauma. I've got all these things I'm dealing with, and I've got a long way to go to get over them. Well, I need to do all these things to heal, or I'm not going to be able to. Those are the curtains you put up. What about physically? Well, unless I eat better and exercise more and count all the calories and do all of these other things that people say I should do, I'm not going to be healthy. Unless I look a certain way, I'm not allowed to feel good about myself. Those are the curtains you put up. What about socially? Well, I came from a really bad upbringing with a toxic family, so the toxic relationships I attract are just because that's what I'm comfortable with, and I keep choosing the wrong people, and I need to become a better version of me so I can find better people to finally connect. Curtains you've put up. And then what about financially? Well, I need to work hard, and I need to save, and I need to go back to school, and I need to have 7 more side gigs, and then I need to be able to pay more money into certain things so I can have what I want. The curtains you put up. Now here's the reality. All of those are 100% true because you chose them, because you chose those beliefs. I have never been wealthier financially than the moment that I stopped trying to work for money and just accepted that I'm already wealthy, which sounds delusional, and it is from an outside perspective. But because my faith was I was already wealthy and I always have enough, and more than enough always comes in, and we always have the money to do whatever we choose to do that feels right for us, it has been there. Socially, I spent a lot of lonely days wondering why I couldn't find anybody, why no one was connecting with me. I'm having a hard time with friends. Till the moment I started seeing myself as lovable and loving who I am and embracing how fun it is to just connect with others. And now connections are happening so fast I can't even keep up. And they're people that are uplifting in my life, not toxic. And then physically, you guys who have followed me for a while have seen I'm losing weight. I'm getting stronger. I have more of a tan on my skin. And what did I do that made the difference? Nothing. In fact, I added eating cereal that is bad for you to my diet because it's fun and I wanted to try the new Cheerios flavors. I didn't change anything drastically. I started loving what I saw in the mirror. I started embracing what it felt like to be stronger, to be thinner, to look the way I want to look, and already loving that it's here and it's happening easily. And this applies to spiritually. The moment I stopped looking outside of me for the right tool, the right technique, the right healing, and just started connecting to my spirit, it all fell into place. The moment I stopped pushing to try to learn new things, and I have to learn this to be able to learn this, to be able to do these things, the things that I want to learn just start to come naturally to me. And intellectually, I'm challenged in just the right way that feels good to me. And emotionally, the moment I stopped responding to the emotions rather than just observing and being aware of them and grateful for them, whatever they are, well, now I've got this emotional strength I never knew possible. And it isn't because of the doing on the outside. Anything you believe you have to do is true. But you can also let that go and have the faith that all I have to do is this. I exist. My spirit is the energy of creation that exists in all things. And as the energy of creation that exists in all things, it's already vibrating as high as possible. Anything I get to receive and create from that energy is filtered through the beliefs that I choose as my identity. So all I have to do is focus that energy and choose the identity I want. And then experience and be aware. That's it. I have 100% faith that everything I am experiencing, I have created. I may not always understand why, because sometimes I don't know all the beliefs I've already built up. Guess what? My heart will tell me, oh, what you're experiencing now, that's painful. That's not in alignment. Oh, look, there's a belief there you probably need to let go of. Thank you. Thank you, heart, for telling me that. Thank you for showing me. Thank you for giving me the pain that tells me there's something else that's an attachment, that's a belief that I can let go of, that I can pull down the purple curtains and put up the green ones now. And that's really all it's about, guys. When you understand that everything is energy connected through your spirit, because it is the energy of creation that exists in all things, you shift that alignment and that identity internally, and the world will shift around you. So what does that shift look like? It looks like you not giving your attention and reaction to experiences. You give awareness, but not attention. Now, what's the difference between that? That sounds like the same thing, right? Okay, so this thing happened. I'm aware of it. I accept it. I'm appreciative of it. What am I doing about it? Nothing. What do you mean you're doing nothing? Well, if a bill comes up, I'll probably pay the bill, but I'm not fretting about how to pay the bill. I'm not wondering what that's going to do to my budget. I'm not frantically looking for more money to pay the bill. Oh, this bill came up. Let me pay it. I'm done. That's it. I responded, but I didn't react. There was no deep emotional energy. There was nothing tied to a belief in that experience. And every experience is just a reflection. So you're looking in the mirror. Are you going to look in the mirror and say, oh my gosh, that reflection in the mirror is ugly. Let me fix the reflection. I'm going to draw a hat on there and a little eye patch because it's pirate time. No. You're going to turn back to you and go, oh, I got a smudge on my face. Let me get rid of that. Oh, I like that look. We're good. That's all it is, guys. What are the smudges in your life that are blocking what you really want to be? So what I do is this. Every day, I get myself in alignment. I get myself into a spot where I have no attention or energy put on any perception of the outside world until I feel at peace completely. Then when I perceive the outside world, I follow the peace. Oh, look at this experience. It feels good. Lean into it. Oh, look at this experience. It feels bad. Back away from it. And that's where the miracles happen. And that's where you start to walk by faith that precedes the miracles. There's 5 principles I want to talk about really quick. Number 1, being authentic. Being authentic means being honest with yourself about what is peace and what is not. And the obvious things that are not peace, don't justify, don't excuse, don't let your brain defend why they're not peace. They're just not peace. Oh my gosh, this person is so much drama and they cause this and I have to keep putting out fires and I have to keep cleaning up the mess. Okay, it's not peace. It's the obvious thing. That's not working for you. Number 2 is being accountable. You created everything. Everything in your life was created by you energetically before it appears physically. So be accountable that it's yours. You created it. That's the way it is. Okay, you now created this thing. You can now create anything else you want. But because you created this thing, it's for you. So why would you fight against it? Why would you struggle with it? Why would you combat with the thing you created instead of, I'm aware of it. I accept that I created that. I appreciate that I created that. Now let me look at what else I want to create. Now, number 3. Number 3 is the big one. Detach from outcomes. And this is where we really build up beliefs that keep us stuck for a long time is, okay, well, if I do this thing, I get to have this result. So I went and did all this work. I get to have all this money. And sometimes we take inspired action and our mind says, oh, well, I guess you're getting inspired to do this because it's going to lead to this. We moved across the nation from Utah to Texas to open up a theme park. Never opened the theme park. We were inspired to move to Texas because we were opening a theme park, but we never opened the theme park. Oh, that's it. We're failures. No. Detach from the outcome. You don't know why you're taking the step that you're inspired to take. Yeah, your mind's going to come up with reasons and excuses and justifications for why that step makes sense, but it doesn't matter. Your mind is just processing what your current identity is. But if it's an inspired action, if it feels like peace and you take it, detach from any outcome and just say, I don't know why I'm doing this. It feels like peace. And allow yourself to not know. Once you're free from those outcomes, you don't start to develop beliefs about how things have to work or else. And those beliefs stop blocking you. Number 4, live in gratitude. Everything you experience, you created for you. And the universe is already leading you. Your spirit, which is the energy of creation, is already leading you on the easiest path to your happiest life. The difficulties along the way are just the filters you're putting in. As you live in gratitude, you realize every omen out there is something directing me towards the easier path or telling me to turn away from the more difficult one. And when you look at everything with gratitude, you realize what's behind each experience. And then number 5, that's when you take inspired action, because now you're in alignment. Now you're aware. Now you are living at peace no matter what happens. So something comes up, oh, that feels like peace, I'm doing it now. Something comes up, oh, that doesn't feel like peace, I'm moving away from it now. Once you can live your life like that, once you can live your life honestly, sincerely, with whole feeling, telling people what you do every day is follow the peace, you have opened the floodgates for miracles. And I will tell you, I've had these conversations, very interesting. Very interesting to see people's reactions. Oh, so what is it you do? I follow the peace. No, but what do you do? Like, what's your job? I follow the peace. Well, but don't you have like a job that you go to and check into? I have tasks I sometimes do if it feels like peace to do them. But you have to have a job. How do you survive? I follow the peace and I always have what I need. And they don't get it because their mind is so busy defending the purple curtains in the room, because that's the way the life is. That's the way it has to be. But no, it doesn't. When you shift your attention, and this is really where the power is in faith, shifting your attention from external circumstances, outcomes, and what that means to internal alignment so that you are at peace no matter what, everything becomes a miracle. When you live in alignment, everything becomes a miracle. And you do nothing. I have no clue what I'm about to do after this podcast. I have no clue what I'm going to do tomorrow. I have some appointments lined up that are meetings that I'm probably going to go to unless it doesn't feel like peace, and then I won't. But if it feels like peace, I will. And it may lead to something and it may not. And it may never happen. And the person might not show up. It doesn't matter. I have no attachment to that. I do what feels like peace. So I am externally doing nothing. I am internally living in alignment and following the peace. That is the faith that is required for you to manifest miracles in your life. It is a faith that requires you to detach from everything externally. Because once you do, there is nothing blocking you from receiving the miracles that are the easiest path to creating your happiest life, even if they don't make sense to your mind and current identity that you've been living in. Remember, there's nothing greater than the power of you. When you are living in alignment, you will naturally create your happiest life and will manifest miracles. Because to live in alignment, you must live in complete faith. You are the creator, and nothing out here can take that away from you. All you do is live in alignment, and naturally, you will manifest miracles. See you guys next time.